At Nisa, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up.
Ready. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Let's go, heavy. Let's go, heavy.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. First down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
11 more on that one and another first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yards.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it's 3rd down. Ready.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. He's got his man. That's Wallace. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On second down, it's Mack. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 10 yards out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
We own them. We own them. Hey, check Mike 47.
He'll look to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. So because of the yards after the catch, they'll wisely decline the PI.
Yeah, since it was pass interference, they would have gotten the yardage at the spot of the foul. But as you correctly noted, a little bit of run after catch for them. That extra yardage made it easy to decline the penalty. So
the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
That's right, baby.
He'll drop to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game.
Find those guys and get in that direction.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Derrick Henry, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point good by Hopkins, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. You have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a gain of 25 yards. First down, Vikings.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From just shy of midfield, Haskins. He's got his man, that's Josh Gordon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Quentin Williams breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 24-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch. But you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Marlon Mack, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They set up the screen to Hill. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Mike's by 4.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking long for Thomas. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. He's got it at the 15. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are throwing their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead.
Touchdown, Vikings! N'Keal Harry, 78 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his tight end, Burton. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get up.
Back to throw here. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Mike 54.
Hey, me and you all day. All right, sir. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Right there, 54.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st down, Vikings.
Mike 51.
All day, every day, any day.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
First down.
Now a carry from Mack. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down now, it's Mack, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Third down, Haskins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. N'Keal Harry, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Buying time to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Anthony Zettel popping in for the sack.
Mike 54. Let's go. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
That's the score. Vikings 27, Titans 17.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll start on the ground with Mack. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
They'll go again here with Mack. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10. Around the NFL, 3rd quarter from Foxborough. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He was brought down by Avery Williamson.
2nd and 4. That's caught. It's Thomas. Touchdown, Titans. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal.
Vikings 27, Titans 24. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Back now in Nashville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They go right back to Mack. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound.
He's got a man, complete. Past the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big play that time for the Titans. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Back to throw now on second and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Royce Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point good by Hopkins. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Powers through. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Here's Haskins to throw. They'll run the screen with Mack. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 38-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Nick Bosa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Haskins will throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. The 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
You got two shots. He took you to school.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Makes the score Titans 38, Vikings 34.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down.
At the 27-yard line.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Staying on the ground with Mack. Space to maneuver at the 40. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, Haskins. Stepping up, he'll try. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. 4th down. Here's Haskins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Target.
The Titans go victory formation as they take a knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The Titans go victory formation down to a knee. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
The Titans go victory formation as they take a knee.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Titans, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. So for our entire crew, alongside